Let's jump right into a pretty wild idea. What if you're not actually living your life, but instead you're kind of stuck in a simulation that's running entirely inside your own mind? Today, we're going to explore that journey from a self-made reality to what it means to truly understand yourself. Okay, so let's start with this quote. It's something that I think hits home for pretty much all of us. This is basically the foundation of our entire worldview, isn't it? We just assume that what we know is, well, the way things are. It feels solid, it feels real. But here's the question that really gets things going. What if that feeling of certainty isn't really the truth? What if it's actually a barrier? What if the very things we think we know are what's stopping us from experiencing what's actually real? That brings us to our first section, the illusion of knowing. We're going to break down how what's going on inside of us kind of taints how we see everything around us. So here's the crucial idea. Our view of the world is basically a projection of our view of ourselves. And if we're being honest, how many of us really understand our own inner workings? The source uses this example of other cultures. We might think we get how they live, but are we truly seeing them? Or are we just seeing our own assumptions reflected right back at us? Right, so this tainted perception, it's not just some minor filter. It actually creates a whole alternate reality, which brings us right to section 2, living in a simulation. What I love about this is that it's not a statement, it's a question. It turns the camera right back on us. This isn't just some abstract philosophical thing, it's a personal question. Are you living in the real of life, or are you just living in a mental rehearsal of it? This analogy makes the whole concept crystal clear. I mean, think about it. You can picture the aisles, you know exactly where the milk is, you can mentally walk right up to the checkout. That is a mini simulation. Now just imagine scaling that up to your whole day, to your conversations, to your job. You're out there in the world, sure, but you're mainly living in your own pre-programmed version of it. And this breaks down the two paths perfectly. On one side, you've got the simulation. It's built by you feel like you're in control, and it's all based on what you think you know. But then, on the other side, there's the real of life. It just exists, with or without you. You don't control it, you experience it. And that's not based on knowing, it's based on real, genuine understanding. So what's the big deal, right? Why does living in this simulation even matter? Well, that brings us to section 3, the block to growth. Turns out there's a pretty heavy price to pay for living in a world we've built ourselves. And this is the great paradox. It feels completely backward, but it's the heart of the problem. The very act of trying to manage and control our own personal growth is the exact thing that slams the brakes on it. By trying to force an outcome, we completely shut down the possibility of any real evolution. This slide lays out the choice so clearly. If you really want that control, well, you get to live life exactly how you want it to be. But you stay blocked. You never get beyond where you are right now. The other option? Being open to experience. And that is the path that leads to real development, where you can actually evolve. The price we pay for being stuck in this controlled simulation is, well, it's a feeling of emptiness. It's that quiet, nagging voice in the back of your head that says, something is missing, that life isn't supposed to feel so hollow. And according to the source, it's this exact feeling of emptiness that often pushes people to start searching for something more. Okay, so we've kind of diagnosed the problem. Now what? Where do we go from here? That brings us to section 4, the path to understanding. And this is where the journey really turns inward. This is the light bulb moment. This is the key that unlocks everything else. See, if a twisted view of ourselves is what creates the whole illusion in the first place, then the only way out is to get a clear, honest understanding of who we really are. True clarity about the world, it has to start with clarity about yourself. The source material goes a little deeper here, explaining that our very being is held together by consciousness. You can think of this consciousness as a kind of energy. So understanding ourselves isn't just about navel-gazing. It's about learning how to work with the very energy that makes us who we are. But how do you even start this inward journey without getting completely lost? Well, this brings us to our final section, finding a map for yourself. A map. That's such a powerful way to think about it, right? It means this isn't some big, unknowable mystery. This territory has been charted. The source tells us that a real, practical framework, a map, actually exists to help people learn what they don't yet know about themselves. And the name for this particular map is Kelee Meditation, but here's the crucial part. This practice doesn't hand you some foreign map. No, it teaches you how to read the one that already exists inside you. It's a way to access your own built-in understanding. And really, this is what it all comes down to. The journey inward, the practice of self-understanding, it's not just some self-help fad. It's presented as the very engine of our personal evolution. It's the path from that hollow, empty feeling to a life that feels packed with real, authentic meaning. So we'll leave you with this last thought to chew on. Real life is something we experience, not something we control. And the question to take away from all this is a simple one. Are you busy controlling your simulation? Or are you out there truly experiencing life?